Here I am in Venice, the land of romance, gondolas, and topless women in windows. Let me introduce you to one of my favorite spicy little corners of history. Here I am over the Ponte delle Tette, as known infamously as the Bridge of Tits. So it's very fun. This unassuming little bridge in San Cassinino district has a very uplifting backstory. Here we go. In the 1500s, Venice had a flourishing sex trade. It was the heart of the sensual adventurous. Courtesans were educated, elegant, and part of a vital thing of the city's structure. So here we are. We're going to take a look at all of this stuff. So you want to see how exciting this is. But there was a bit of a moral panic at the time. The city's authorities were worried about the increasing number of men preferring the company of other men, because there's a portion of the population, no matter who, when, and where in history, that does. So in a medieval marketing move, they came up with this genius idea. They put ladies in the window, topless, because they wanted to make sure they were women. So we're going to do a playful silhouette of here we are, leaning out the window. Okay, so yes, they actually mandated that sex workers expose their breasts from the windows of this bridge to entice men back to the straight and narrow. Can you imagine the zoning meeting for that urban planning? Yeah, and they were concerned about it. And if you're listening to this week's Turned On with Sue and John, we have a bunch of interviews about how the sex workers invented tiramisu, which literally means kind of on the go and energy. And it was eggs and sugar and coffee, and it was done. But this literal boob-based PR campaign, and it worked. The official area as the red light district and the Bridge of Tits stuck. So they have classic paintings of courtesan, and I have been all over Italy as your sensual adventurer. But here's what I love about these stories, is the women weren't just lust objects. They were Venetian courtesans, were powerful. They had influence and style and smarts. And if you're watching the fashion down there, I've been sitting drinking wine, watching fashion, but some of them were cultured and better read than the noble women of the time. They knew their value and they weren't afraid to show it off. So a lot of bare-breasted, and I have been watching, as I said, the young women of Venice coming into the city for the weekend, and it's sexy little outfits. But it's not a secret just about boobs in the window. It's about sexual agency. It's about pleasure, power, and politics, which have always been intertwined. So what you want to do is, when you come to Venice, it is a city that is super sensual. So next time you're walking across an old bridge and thinking about history and all its battles and kings, remember the women who leaned out the window and discovered tiramisu, our favorite dessert, and rewrote the rules with nothing but confidence, charisma, and a well-timed flash. So check out my sexwithsue.com, smart, sexy, unapologetic, sensual adventurer, and my Turned On with Sue and John. If you love a good sex history lesson, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. You'll never miss a steamy story. I'm from Venice with love. Everybody, I'm Sue.